So here I am talking about Palantir again. What has changed since the last video that I posted? Well, actually a lot has changed. June 21st is the S&P rebalancing, and is Palantir going to be included? Well, we're going to talk about that and some very big news right now, so let's get started. Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time stopping in, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you know when I post new videos, and if you could give me a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. So we're going to get right into the content. Was talking to my students today about this. There's some big things going on with Palantir. I had some puts that were in order and some covered calls that were a little bit further out that now me and my students all have to roll because Palantir is on the move. I told you guys Palantir was going to be on the move in June in my previous videos, and here it goes. It's on the move right now. So before we get to the video, if you guys want to be a part of a like-minded community trying to achieve financial freedom just like you, and you want to get one-on-one coaching with me and learn from my full in-depth training course, you can do so by visiting my website right here, www.investwithcorey.com. Limited spots remain. I want to help you guys grow your financial freedom. The May jobs report comes out this Friday, which is significantly important in the stock market. Analysts are tentatively hoping for a rate cut sooner rather than later, September instead of December. This week's jobless claims have reached a 4-week high, the highest since September of 2023. 175,000 jobs added in April, which is less than the 235,000 that were forecasted, or the 315,000 jobs that were added in March. Unemployment rate is up from 3.8% to 3.9%. However, April's CPI is promising, and analysts are saying that the rate cuts are going to be set for September as the first cut instead of December. Canada recently did a rate cut over the last few days, so things are looking really promising, and we're going to find out even more on Friday. Kyle Wool, the CEO of Dominary Financial, says that Palantir as a buy is on the verge of a breakout, basically. Palantir is set to take the center stage in the tech sector, thanks to substantial inventory of high-performance chips. Palantir's forecast for 2024 was 8 cents EPS per quarter, 32 cents for the year. They're now up to 33 cents as the estimate guidance for the year. And for 2024, the guidance is 40 cents EPS yearly, which is a 10 cents per quarter, which is 40% higher than Palantir expected or forecasted for the year 2025 last year. And this year for 2024 is 32% higher than the year previous. They just picked up a contract with the government for $480 million, which has a value of up to $633 million over 5 years. The AIP conference is set for today, June 6th. 70 customers are going to be showcasing their work utilizing Palantir's intelligence AIP platform. So this is really big. If today, June 6th, doesn't go as we hoped it will, or something goes wrong, then the stock price is going to come down a little bit, but their financials are still good, and we still have the S&P inclusion. If today doesn't go well, and we also have to look at the fact that they're not included in the June's S&P rebalance, then things could get a little messy, but they're still profitable. But it could mean a little bit more flat trading until we get to the next earnings call, which is coming up in July, and then of course the inclusion will get another chance in September. So let's talk about what do we need for Palantir to be included in the S&P index. It has to be a US company, which Palantir is. Their market cap is $8.2 billion, which checks off another box. Shares must be highly liquid with a minimum of 250,000 shares traded daily, another check mark for Palantir. 50% of the outstanding shares must be available for public trading, and Palantir somewhere about 85 or 88%. So there's another check mark. The most recent quarter's earnings must be positive. Another check mark for Palantir, and the sum of the past 4 quarters' earnings must be positive as well. Another check mark for Palantir. They have absolutely no decline, increased revenue, increased profits. They're sitting on a bunch of cash. The cash flow positive. 4 earnings calls in a row, they meet or beat the estimates. Their customers are increasing their spend annually 10% year over year. They're adding more government contracts, and they're adding more commercial contracts as well. They have only 41% institutional ownership, whereas Tesla has 43%. The institutional ownership will go up a little bit once they're included in the SPY rebalance. And no inclusion to the S&P doesn't really change anything. Palantir is profitable. They're growing, sitting on cash. And we had an internet boom in the 90s. We've had the tech boom over the last 4 to 6 years, specifically the last 3 to 4 years, and this year's been crazy. But now we're going to be looking forward into the software, the AI software boom. That's what's coming. SoundHound, C3, Palantir, Meta, and a couple other companies that are just going to boom in the next few years. Palantir and SoundHound are going to be the ones that are going to be booming a lot because of how cheap SoundHound is right now and how cheap Palantir has been and still somewhat is compared to where they're going to be when they get included in the S&P index. So it's my prediction. We have to see how everything goes today, and then we have to forward look to June 21st and figure out what we expect with the inclusion. If they get included, it's going to be a jump in the stock price. If today goes well, the price is going to continue to go up. I feel like $23 is a little bit of a soft cap. I think they're going to break through that, which we are doing as I'm recording this video. However, I feel like 23.50 to 24 is still going to be a hard spot to beat. Very hard to beat without the inclusion. So I say that if today goes decent, we'll see a sell-off. It might come back down to 22, 22.50, or it could stay right above 23 and climb a little bit more, but it's going to depend on how today goes. If we're not included in the S&P index, it's going to end up coming back down around 22.50 or 23. It's hard to say for sure, but I feel like there's going to be a pullback. If they get included, then it's just going to keep going up for a while. It might have a pullback at some point, but that is just going to end up leveling off around 23 or 24. I think we're pretty much at a floor right now. If today goes well, the earnings go well, and we get included, I think that's pretty much it for Palantir. I think we're pretty much sitting at a floor. 22 to 23 is the floor now. And I think that's good because Palantir is worth every penny based on forward looking, and they got a forward looking PE ratio right now 58, which is pretty good. I just want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I'm just giving you guys tips and strategies, technicals, fundamentals, and financials, helping you guys to understand the market better. However, it's ultimately up to you to decide which stocks you want to put your money into and how much of a position you want in that stock, as it's your money. If you're new to options, I want to go ahead and go through some Palantir options and show you a covered call that I'm selling on Palantir and how I'm going to roll to get myself out of a really bad position. This way you guys can understand how you would do that and how selling covered calls is a very good thing so that your stocks are generating profit for you, because you might fear selling covered calls that you're going to get assigned the shares, and on Palantir that may not be good if it goes to 28 or 29 and you get assigned at 23. Looking at Palantir here, we can see that it is likely that we're going to rise up to around 23, 23.50, and we could see some pullback, and we might get another shot at getting in somewhere at 22.50. And if today goes well, we end up going back up and we're up around 23.50 again. If today goes bad, then we'll get some pullback and we'll probably be sitting around 22.50 or $22. Palantir has had its consolidation and now we're in a breakout, but this is a key level. We really have to be mindful of this right here. I'm going to draw a line for you guys to see. This is a key level. You see it? It's bounced here, 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 here. One again there, another one here, another one there. Two more here, three more. Broke through here twice, resisted down here. So the 23.34 roughly, or 23.20, like we're right at that right now, because the overnight hours, it's like $23.10. So we're actually somewhere right about here. So this is a key level, and that's what we're waiting on. I have 2 covered calls on Palantir for June 7th. I have a couple more for June 14th. My big brokerage, I've got a couple of 23s, which are now in danger. So that's not a good thing. But let me show you how you roll out. Let's go ahead and take a look at this option and understand that based on the current price, the option value is $1.02. It's a $22 call. The stock price is $22.98. So there's $98 for 100 shares, or 98 cents per share, intrinsic in the money actual value. This call contract is worth $1.02, meaning there's $4 of extrinsic time value left with 2 days left. By the end of the day, Thursday, it's going to be time to roll. I'm not rolling yet, but you could see by Thursday today around 4 p.m. or close to it, I'll roll because it'll only be worth $1. So there's only going to be about $2 extrinsic value. And I'm going to click roll. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go out probably to July 19th, and I'm going to go up to 23. And I'm going to collect about another $64 juicy premium. That's going to put me at 23. Yes, if Palantir goes to 23.50, I'm in the money again. However, this is going to be worth about $140, $145. But if it goes to 23.50, there's only $50 worth of intrinsic value. Yet the option will be worth about $150 by that point. So there's $100 of time value. That gives gives me until July 19th to see if the stock price keeps going up or keeps going down. If it goes up more and we're at 24.50 or 25, I'll roll out to September and up to 25, and I've saved my shares. We're using time value, theta, to save our stocks. It could take up to 4 or 5 months to keep rolling out and up for credits before I end up at 25, like September. By October, November, I'll end up around $26, $27, and probably collected around $300-400 of juicy premium on just 2 contracts along the way. So $4,400 generates me another $500 in juicy premium. Plus, if I get assigned at 24 or 25, I only paid 21 on these 200 shares. Therefore, I'm up another 800. So I'll make about 12 to 1400 on $4,000 in the next 3 to 4 months. So that's like a 30% return in 4 months, and you can't go broke taking profits. And I teach all this in my Discord and my training course, a lot more in depth too. I have a pretty specific set of videos and training materials that I teach my students on how you can roll deep, and I mean very deep in the money calls, like my Robinhood calls that were 17, now they're 17.50, and I'm going to roll them next week to 18. And the stock price is $20.50, and I went from 17 to now 18, and by the time we get to the end of August, I'll be closer to 19. So I've went from 17 to 19 in 2.5, 3 months, and we're only $1 away. And you're using theta, time value, to keep rolling, because it's highly unlikely, if it's not a dividend stock, that anybody's going to assign you when they could just sell the option. Why would someone throw $50 or even $10 or $20 away? Even just $10, just sell the option, go buy the share. So it's highly unlikely that you're going to get assigned as long as there's at least $5 to $10 extrinsic value. I'd say $5 is the hard stop. $3 to $5 hard stop. That's why I roll the day before Friday. So you can see how you can roll your covered calls even if they're deep in the money, and you can save your shares. Normally I preach that you're getting in with puts or you're buying shares, preferably selling puts, selling covered calls and getting out higher than you got in. So you're taking profits. So I would say don't roll your covered call. Just get assigned because you're getting out at a profit, find a new stock, or get back into the same stock. It doesn't matter. It's not worth tying up your capital and making little money just to keep rolling out. However, with Palantir, this is a hold for me. I don't want to run the wheel on Palantir. You can, and you can make good money. However, I'm long-term with Palantir. So this was a strategy I wanted to show you guys how you can just get out of a covered call that might be potentially dangerous or get you assigned. However, Palantir is a buy. And with the inclusion of the S&P index coming up on June 21st being a real possibility, and the earnings potential going up, their guidance going up, all the earnings that they've had over the past 4 quarters continually meeting or beating the expectations, and the amount of profit and revenue year over year growth, customer acquisitions and contracts with the government. Palantir is an absolute buy. This is one of the best stocks, and is probably going to be the best AI software stock. In fact, it is, and it's going to remain that way and only increase. Palantir is the NVIDIA of software. This is the one to put your money into, in my opinion. I feel like even at $23, Palantir is an absolute buy. Just dollar cost average. If you get some shares now for $23 and it starts to come back down in the next week or 2 or even sooner, or something happens today and the price drops, buy more at 22. If it goes to 21, dollar cost average, and buy more at 21. And then once it settles and you see that it's settled at a certain price, 21 or $20.50, add more. I wish I had added another 1,000 shares at $20.50 where it was at about 3 weeks ago. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. All I can say is Palantir is a buy, a buy, a buy. That's it. It is a buy. Don't miss out on Palantir. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Be sure to subscribe, tap the bell, and give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to become a part of my Discord with like-minded traders and investors just like yourself, this way you can surround yourself with potential and learn and grow together, and you want one-on-one coaching with me, you can do so at my website at any time, right there on the screen, www.investwithcorey.com. You can also sign up for my free newsletter. My newsletter and website to my Discord is also in the information box below. Free tips and strategies right to your email. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are the best. I will see you on the next upload, which will be later today because we're doing 2 uploads in one day. But don't worry, until then, I've got something just for you. I've got a video that you're gonna love, and I'm gonna put it right here. It's gonna be how to get paid to buy stocks. And that video is right there. It's time to collect some juicy premium. It's a great video. You guys are going to love it. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care.